There's a danger to foresight, I guess, having too much information. I remember when I was teaching, we were talking about movies, and if you've listened to me before, you know that I don't do horror movies. But one movie that was intriguing that my students were trying to tell me was not really a horror movie, but more thriller, maybe a little creepy, was M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense. Now, anybody that knows me also knows that that is a bad word in my house. No, not The Sixth Sense. M. Night Shyamalan. We do not speak his name. After what he did to Avatar, bruh. Anyway, I was telling kids, you know what? It does sound intriguing. Maybe I will watch The Sixth Sense. And then one of the worst things happened. One of those things that I cannot stand. A little River Song reference. Spoilers. And a kid sat there and told the whole twist at the end of the movie. And every other kid threw up their hands. Oh, why would you say that? So then I watched the movie. And it was amazing. It was great. But it wasn't as great to me as what other people say because I went into the movie knowing the twist. Is there danger in having foresight? Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, nupefromdaville. A fantastic new series on Netflix is called Supacell. It's all in South London, done by the amazing Rapman, and features a wonderful cast of characters. First episode, we get Michael, and it's entitled Michael. So we follow our main protagonist, played wonderfully by Tosin Cole. One day he has an incident where something tragic happens and his powers activate, and he sees the incident, kind of a precognition before it even happens. And as it's starting to unfold, he changes what he did in his vision in order to have a different outcome. It actually saved his own life at that point. But at this point, he doesn't believe he has powers. He doesn't know he has powers. He chalks it up as deja vu. It's not until later in the episode that inexplicably his powers activate, usually through adrenaline, trauma, something happening to him that causes his powers to activate because he has no control of them so far. He ends up going into the future. How far into the future, I'm not sure. Doesn't really say. But he goes into the future and meets his future self. He looks ragged and tired and completely different, like he has let himself go. He also meets his future self's partners, 4 other people, a woman and 3 men. His future self tells him their names and tell him that they are instrumental to him changing events in the past. Because at this point, there's still an opportunity for him to prevent the biggest tragedy ever. I call this too much information. I'm going to keep it short because I want to really dig into these supercells. This is a fantastic series. And we follow Michael, and Michael ends up being the leader of this group because he does have foresight. His powers involve him being able to temporarily stop time and teleport and time travel. Now, we've seen from plenty of other comic books and movies and things like that time travel is always a tricky, very tricky thing to do. Just because altering the sacred timeline can put you on an alternate timeline. So if you're trying to prevent certain events, it can also prevent you from returning to the time from whence you came. Foresight is a matter of studying the present, learning from the past, and understanding the needs of the future. And Michael is having a really hard time with this. Mostly because at first he thinks he's crazy. He thinks he's having deja vu. But then when he comes to understand and accept that it's something more than that, he has to put things together very quickly because he's on a clock. Michael has to prevent a tragedy, and he has to work quickly, including the 4 people he met in the future. He's never met them before, has no idea who they are, how to find them. You know, Thomas Hardy says that fear is the mother of foresight. What makes you look into the future? What makes you look into the past? What makes you analyze your present in order to make different decisions to prevent outcomes in the future? Yeah, it's easy to say you have vision, you have foresight, but a lot of people do not change unless they are absolutely forced to change. It's easy to see in this that Michael is comfortable. He and his new fiance, Dion, are comfortable. As a matter of fact, they're doing it well. He has a job as a delivery driver. Dion has a job as a social worker. And together they've bought a house, a brownstone in South London. He goes out and gets her a convertible BMW. I mean, they're doing well. But is that when terror creeps up and strikes just as things are going well? A lot of us get up every morning blessed to open our eyes and strive to get through the day just so we can go to bed tonight and get up and do it all over again. You know, it's easy to say that hindsight's 20/20 because you can look back, you can reflect on your life, as you often hear me do on here, and look at where you ran into obstacles, how you would approach those things differently. But how would you approach your life right now if you knew what the future already held for you, for those close to you? How do you hold that burden? How do you know that by telling those people that you're trying to save won't increase the chances of making exactly the thing that you're trying to prevent come true? I'm going to leave you with this. The best that you can do is the best that you can do. The future will show you what you've learned. You can look back at the past, but you can't live in the past. You live in the present, but you can't stay in the present. One of my favorite shows says winter is coming. But what does that really mean? You can't stay in the sunlight of the spring and the summer. It's when things are new. Things are invigorated. They're ripening. They're beautiful. Fall, where things start to die, where things start to wither, things start to get dark, and eventually winter, the cold, it's always coming, even with foresight and having too much information. How do you take care of your past and your present to affect your future? This is Rakai Steed, nupefromdaville. Make sure you like, comment, share this. If you're a huge fan of Supacell, share this. And by all means, if you haven't done so already, subscribe. It's gotta be about this. It's gotta be about this.